So, and when you were applying to colleges, did you have a counselor that would help? This is your reach school, I'm trying to remember what words they use, but it's like you have 3 goals and it's like your safe school, your something school, and then your reach school.
Oh, no, I didn't have any like that, but I mean, I've heard of that and it makes sense. It's like, this is like realistic goal, unrealistic goal, where you want.
Right, and I'm trying to figure out what the one in the middle is. Safety, target, reach, that's what it was. So I have a safety for my houses, a target, and a reach. I'm gonna do that every year.
That's it. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I guess high school wasn't totally useless. Welcome back. I finally figured put like a number to what my goal for the year is.
Okay.
Have you heard of the like what when you're talking about applying to colleges, you have like a safety school, a target school,
Yep.
reach. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I'm overly ambitious for my safety,
Okay.
but that's only because one of the colors podcast class.
Yes.
So did you hear did you listen to them at all?
I do. I haven't listened to the last 2 though.
Okay, so you have heard about Montez. Okay, so he was an agent and his first year he closed 36 houses. Wow. That's,
What's it look like?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It was just a podcast, but
Who does the podcast? Is it the, what is it? Do you remember what
it
it's
was the Color of Money podcast.
Okay.
And so,
I think I know who they're talking about. Who's that?
yeah,
Like agent camp.
yes,
He's.
everywhere. So they're like, we think he's gonna be the new director of the international or whatever.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, so that's what I wanna align myself with.
There you go.
And I'm like, all right, my safety's 30,
30 houses.
yeah, transactions.
Okay. Okay.
And then we're gonna say target 36. Reach 40.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
She sounds a little crazy, but we all need a little crazy. Oh, and then I made myself like a little kindergarten scratch off. To get there. I need some reward other than money. Cause I'll spend that money, it just
Yeah.
it's like nothing happened.
Hear you. I hear you.
Indigenous for the information room, so I have that Honey Grove, list lead. He wants to sell his home, remember, he was saying we're gonna get maybe some content information to somebody for in that area.
And yeah, and the parent, was it in parents or was it?
Well, I was able to have that one.
Okay. Okay.
This one is the Honey Grove, page.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, yeah, yes. Let me see if Bob knows anybody over there
Okay,
and then. Yeah, we'll find someone for him.
okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna reach out.
Okay, got it. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, we'll get that done today.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding.
All right, thanks.
Hello. Yeah, that's fine, yeah, no problem. Join and then. Yeah, Opcity. Yeah. Have a seat. Just waiting for Lucy to join us and we'll get started here.
Opcity? Oh, no, cause she wanted to that new one. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
Oh, no.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, Lucy.
How are you guys?
Hi.
Good. We're just waiting on one more, but let me see if I can raise them.
Okay, good. My computer is ready to do some updates, so it took like 4 minutes to get on the Zoom call, so that was fun.
Jeez, well, I'm glad you can make it on. Okay,
So who do I have in the classroom? I just see your backs, guys, so I don't know who.
Yeah, turn around and introduce yourselves again.
I'm
Oh,
Natalie.
Betty, hi.
I'm Betty. I'm Betty. Talk to you later.
And
Hi,
then we
nice
got,
to meet
yeah,
you
I
guys.
got
Hi,
Claire way
Betty.
in the corner over there. Yeah.
Over here.
But yeah, we got some newbies that are in the program. We got some that are interested in getting in as well, so I told them to come in. Yeah, I told them that they would get to get introduced to the one and the only Miss Lucy. I'll just give you the floor and take it away for the, go ahead. I know you're gonna set the expectations and all that good stuff, so I'll give you the floor. Go ahead.
Okay, so I know Betty is in the program already, and you guys, you are interested in the program, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I will share some information about the program, mainly about I'll talk to you about the key metrics that you need to follow. They're very, very important. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and so that way you can see it in front of you as well, okay? Okay, 1 second. Boop. Okay. And let me know if you can want it. 1 second. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So I cannot see right now because I see the document. So if you have any questions, please feel free to stop me, okay? So there are certain metrics that you guys need to follow that are very important. So just to begin with important information, this program is built by an algorithm. So everything, you pretty much have to play the game to be able to meet the followings, right? So how it works, you're going to have an app and you're going to set up your zip code, you're going to set up your mile radius. You can only put one zip code, but you can change it anytime at any point. So like if today you do 75093 and you decide a week later you want to do 75036, it doesn't matter, you can change it anytime, okay? So that just to keep it in mind. So how it works, Opcity will be sending you leads. So that's your opportunity. So when they send you a lead, it doesn't mean you automatically get it. You have to fight for it. You have to work for it, okay? So when they send you a lead, there's going to be the name, there's going to be let's say budget and location, and there's going to be claim it or skip it. You never ever hit skip, okay? So keep that in mind. You will never hit the button skip, even though it's there. You don't want to do it because this program is also built on a score, and if you skip a lead, that's going to affect your score like in a bad way. So you always want to claim it, and you want to be super quick. So the click speed, as you see, the average should be between 10 to 15 seconds or less. The reason why you need to be super quick is to be able to win the lead, because let's say if you have a zip code of 75093 and other 30-40 agents have the same zip code, you all are competing and trying to win this lead. So keep that in mind and make sure you are always aware of that and you always have your phone next to you, okay? Do you have any questions about the click speed? Okay, I don't hear anything, so I'll take.
I
Oh, go ahead.
have a question, Mrs.
Mhm.
Should this be 3 to 5 seconds or 3 to 5 minutes? Or
Yes.
click speed?
It says 10 to 15 seconds or less.
10 to 15 seconds or less, yeah.
Right,
I
so
mean,
we don't
if you're
No, I was just reiterating because I know a lot of us, we kind of get those leads and then they kind of sit there and then we click on them. So 10 to 15 seconds, not 10 to 15.
Yes.
Okay.
No, 10 to
Sorry, go
15
ahead.
seconds. No, that's good. If your click time is 5 seconds, it's even better. Okay. So again, make sure you're paying attention to that. Claiming referrals, that has to be 75% or more leads claimed. So the claiming thing is when they send you a lead, you have to click on claim. So let's say if they send you, just an example, 10 referrals today, you have to click on at least 8. I'm going to round it up, okay? 8 referrals. So if you don't click on more, let's say if they send you 10 leads and you click on 3 only, your score will be dinged. And you don't want to do that, okay? So you have to always claim it. I understand that sometimes you gotta do your things. You cannot sit right next to your phone all the time, and that's okay. That's why we have the snooze button, which I'll be talking about at the end. But it's very important. You gotta play the game, and you gotta do it. So again, 75% or more if you want to maintain a good score. Okay. Contacting referrals. There's something. This is very important. So you will have to contact your referrals through the app at least 1 or 2 times. You will have a unique phone number with the app, associated with the app, and you can find it in your settings. Of course, you can call your referrals, just pick up your phone and call them. That's totally fine. But for the purpose of the algorithm being able to track how much or how often you're contacting them, you have to message them once or twice a week at least through the app. And it's super easy. It's like when you're messaging somebody through WhatsApp, through Messenger, through anything like that. Okay, so 1 to 2 times, because this affects your score like highly. It's very, very important, and that has to be 75% or higher as well. Okay, always contact them through the app once or twice a week. Okay, every referral. Do you have any questions about this?
Yeah, so you're saying just like a text message or just something
Yeah,
along those
just a
lines, follow
message.
up?
Mhm.
Okay.
So how it works, and I should have found a video on YouTube, but once Adam talks, maybe I can find it and then show you at the end. But how it works, you just have the app, and let's say you have Lucy Curley, I'm your client. So you click on my name, and then there will be like a little message icon. You will just click on it and just message them. Let's say when they call you, when you win the lead, you have a call with them immediately. So you want to ask for their details, get their information first, so that way you have, if the call, something happens to the call, you always have their contact info. You can call them on your own. But after the initial call, you can set up this automatic message that goes out automatically through the app, just like, hey, Lucy, it was a pleasure talking to you. I look forward to meeting you, blah, 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 blah. And it will go out automatically 30 minutes after the initial phone call. So you already did your first follow up through the app. So that's how it works. Is it
I have
good?
a question.
Go ahead.
How should they be staying and messaging through the Opcity app? Is there a good maybe number of times before they can move over to their personal number, or do you recommend them just staying and only messaging through the app?
It has to be the entire time, once or
Okay.
twice a week.
Got it.
Unfortunately, yeah. Because your stats are updating every 2 to 3 days. So let's say, excuse me, if you have 75% today, and I go in 4 days later and I see, or next week, and I see 60%, then I will let you know, like, hey, you know, you need to contact your referrals through the app more. So once or 2 times a week throughout the entire time until you close.
But if you find out that the lead, if the lead is just not, I guess you're able to complete whatever the task is on the phone with them that day, like they just had a general question or something. Is that, I mean, there will be no follow-ups after that, so how do you know the difference? Like if you already handled that lead, it wasn't going, you know, maybe they just had a question and we just answered it, so there's really no need to follow up, you know?
That's a good question, because unfortunately, Opcity doesn't do a good job at explaining how this program works. So clients sometimes don't know that this is an actual program where you talk to agents and, you know, they help you. But like I said from the beginning, you got to play the game, and I will be here for you the entire time, and I will let you know. I will tell you the tricks and tips how to play the game. But if you have only one referral, let's say if only one person in your pipeline, and they tell you like, hey, I just wanted to ask a couple of questions, I'm not ready to buy yet, there is an option to release the referral. However, I tell all my agents, let me know before you are going to release the referral. It does not affect your score, but if you have only one contact in your pipeline and you release the only client, then your lead flow will probably be slow or non-existent, because the algorithm will see or will think like, hey, you know, she had one referral but she got rid of it, you know, I'm not gonna send anything else. So I would tell you, you know, keep it in your pipeline, just message them next week like, hey, you know, I'm just here, blah blah blah. Or you can put them on hold, and then let's say when you have 2 to 3 referrals in your pipeline, you can release the client.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm here for you. I can help you with that, trust me. I've been doing it for a while now.
Okay.
So update status, 100% is the best. The minimum, like really minimum, is 75%. So you have to update the status of every client a minimum of once a week, okay? You can do it more than once a week. I recommend doing it a couple times a week, but it's totally up to you. At least once a week. So what this means is, let's say I talk to you, I'm your client, and you just messaged me, and we talked about, you know, what my budget is, what I'm interested in, blah blah blah. And then you're gonna go into your app, click on the client's name, and then below there's gonna be update status. So then you're just gonna go in and just type, talk to Lucy, she's interested in this and this and this, blah blah blah, whatever we just talked about. It has to be 2 sentences. You have to write 2 sentences to be able to have a successful update status, okay? And then you just do it once a week. So just pretty much letting them know what's going on, because when you release the client, Opcity agents are gonna go in and they're gonna see what your statuses are saying, like what happened, you know. Let's say if your statuses will be like, hey, talk to the client, he's ready to buy, I don't know, in 2 months, and then you have another status update of saying client decided not to proceed, and the next status will be client is not responding to me, blah blah blah. That way they will at least know that the client just decided against it. So the update status is very important. Do you have any questions about that? Okay, I'll take it as a no. Okay, so meeting with clients. So Opcity, they want you to meet with the client within the first 2 weeks of the initial call. This can be a virtual meeting or multiple phone calls within the first 2 weeks. So, sometimes some clients are not ready to meet in person because they're hesitant. It's always something new, and they're not that they're afraid, but they just don't know what to expect. So if you have a client like this that's hesitant, I always say, just offer to do a Zoom meeting, a FaceTime, whatever, but it has to be within the first 2 weeks. So I always recommend my agents or our agents to try to set up an appointment with them on that initial call. And it's always good to set up an appointment, let's say, just to do a showing, show them a house, and just have that initial appointment and do it like within the first 2 weeks. Sometimes if you cannot do the first 2 weeks, just make the phone call, and you can change the status from spoke to met, but it has to be within the first 2 weeks, so that way it doesn't affect your score. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Closes, as many closes as you can, that would be perfect. If you have, let's say, 2-3 closings already, you're great. Your lead flow and lead quality and your score will be on point. So, just try to close as many, clients as you can. From the beginning, just to keep that in mind, you will have to do leases as well. I know it's not, maybe it's not something you would want. Sometimes it's not great. But unfortunately, the rule for this platform and for us to be able to be in this program, agents need to have the leases on, and you have to do leases. You have to do at least 2-3 leases to be able to just have buyers or sellers or investors. So keep that in mind, okay? And the snooze button, use your snooze whenever you are not available. So if you're taking a shower, especially when you're driving, please snooze your app, so that way they're not going to send you anything and you don't miss anything, so it doesn't affect your score your score negatively.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know we're putting the zip code in for the leads, but if they say that they want somewhere that's maybe like an hour or 2 hours away, how do we,
Yeah, so with that one, that's a tough one. With that one, you will have to, be honest and say, it's too far. Unless it's $1 million buyer, it's too far. An hour is too far, and just be honest and just release them. Yeah, and so when you let me stop sharing my screen. When you can always set them up on a smart plan in your command, and just keep reaching out. So let's say if they say, hey, I'm not ready to buy, I'm ready to buy in 6 months, great, release them from your platform, so you don't have to do note update every single week when there's no update. Pretty much just release them. They're going to be hanging out in this section released, and you can restore them anytime, and just set them up on a smart plan in your command.
we can just note that so it won't hurt our score.
Yeah, so when you release them, it's not going to affect your score. Like I said, make sure you talk to me first before you do that, because gotta play the game. Hey, Jacob. Is it
Good to see you,
Jawada?
Lucy.
Good to see you. Hi. Yeah. So, from the beginning, guys, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't get discouraged. I'm always here to fight for you, and I will try anything that I can do to help you. Okay. Do you have any questions about the key metrics? No. So are you guys still interested in the program?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So make sure you write down my email, and it's let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'll write it on.
Yeah, thank you.
Go for it.
So it's LUCIEKERLEE @kw.com. So if you're still interested, you're gonna email me and we're gonna set up an appointment and we're gonna talk more about this just to see, if it's still something you're interested in, because there are certain rules that you have to follow, like do group coaching with Adam. And I will be messaging you and emailing you a lot. If I see, let's say, like I told you, if your contacting referrals is below 75%, you're going to get an email from me and I'll be very annoying because I want to make sure all the stats are good. Right, Jacob?
That's right. Mine wasn't 75 though.
Yeah. So this is pretty much all I have about the key metrics. And like I said, especially right now, I know Betty, Jawada, Jacob is really not, we have to fix Jacob's account, but the leads are slow right now because the market is slow. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But when you look at this program and you think about like, hey, is it something I want to do? You have to be 100% sure. But at the same time, if you have, let's say, a couple leases, right, it's better than nothing. And you get the experience. You'll learn, how to talk to clients. You'll learn if there are any problems, obstacles. You will learn how to deal with this stuff, right? So at least it will give you an experience and a few bucks in your pocket, because if you have nothing in your pipeline right now, it's worth a shot, right? And with this program, you can, if you get in and let's say in 2-3 months you decide it's not for you, you want to leave the program, that's totally okay. You just let me know and I will remove you from the platform. So like I said, doesn't hurt to try.
Is there a minimum
Questions?
amount of time that you have to be on the platform?
So we're in the contract that I will, once we have a meeting, I will give it to you. It's a sample contract, so you can look at it. You need to be available for a minimum of 6 hours, but life happens. So if you have a showing, if you have open houses, I'm not gonna track you how often or how long you're available. But if you're not really gonna get a lot of leads and I see you're on snooze a lot and you're gonna get upset with me, I will tell you, hey, how much do you snooze your app? How often do you snooze your app? And if you snooze a lot, you don't get a lot, right? So I'm not gonna track it, but you wanna, be available. So when you're sitting and like have your phone like this, you can always on your phone. Did it answer your question?
Well, actually, I meant in the program. Is there a minimum amount of time you have to be in the program?
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. There's no minimum.
Okay.
But I always tell agents, just give it at least 3 months because, nothing closes overnight.
Yeah,
So, yeah. But it's totally up to you.
thank you.
You're welcome. And like I said, email me and I'll send you the calendar link and we're going to talk about it and I can answer any additional questions you have. And, I'm always happy to help with anything I can. And I'll be there for you. Okay?
Thank you so much, Lucy. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Of course,
yeah.
I'll still stick around if you have any
Yeah.
questions.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, yeah, just to reiterate some of the things that Lucy was saying, this is not an easy pill to get leads and start making millions of dollars. You gotta put a little bit of sweat equity into it. So if you work the program, you can be pretty successful in there. And I would even say, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
So I always use this phrase: if you get on a team, they're not gonna give you $1 million buyers right away, right? Or listings, because you need to work for it first. So keep that in mind. So this is pretty much similar. They're not gonna be sending you like $500,000 buyers. I mean, it can happen, but they're gonna be testing you first. So keep that in mind, okay?
Yeah. And I'd say the best way to probably really get those leads at a higher price point, besides closing, obviously that's gonna be the best, but making sure you guys are doing the process. So you're messaging through them, through the app, you're updating your referrals. It's probably my biggest pet peeve is when you guys leave them in there for months. So that kind of hurts your score. And if you're delinquent, you're not gonna get any leads sent to you either way. So again, it's not an easy pill. It's not a shortcut. It's just another great opportunity for you guys to get some practice, meet some people that are interested in buying, sometimes even selling, especially as new agents. Okay, or some of the agents that are in here that are new, that have no pipeline. You guys tell me all the time, I don't have anybody to call. Here's a great opportunity. Okay, now, that being said, I'll give you a little bit of background on me in this program. We'll go back a little bit. I was once an agent at Monument. They're heavily invested in the Opcity program. The market was much different. So yeah, we did get a lot more leads coming through the program, but I'll tell you this. I would take advantage of it being slow right now because it's much easier for you to boost your score. Okay, we weren't allowed to be on snooze for more than 2 hours out of the day. Okay. If they're coming in, and I mean like every minute almost, and you start missing those leads, it's really hard to keep your score above 103, 104. Okay, so that they're coming in slow, take advantage of those and try and win them. Right. And I would say number one, take advantage of the time while you have it. Okay, because once it starts to get a little bit busier, it's gonna be harder. Okay, make sense a little bit there? Okay, the other thing, we can't track exactly what you guys are saying on the phone, but we can see how long the phone calls are. These phone calls shouldn't be 30 minutes. Okay, when you win a lead and it comes to your phone, this should be a 2-3 minute, 5-minute conversation max. Okay, the goal to this is to set the appointment. Okay, most of the time when you get these leads, not all the time, but most, they're usually interested in seeing a property. Okay, the lead comes in and says, Adam Macias would like to see 123 Easy Street tomorrow at 4. Would you like to accept the lead? And that's when you hit yes or you hit skip.
Skip.
If you hit skip every time, you're gonna get a call from Lucy. Take it, put it that way. Okay, so when you take the call, you win it, right? This is a really easy, so I shouldn't say script, conversation. Okay, if you have with that client, and a potential client. Okay, now I know this kind of sounds really cheesy, but this is exactly verbatim what I used to say. And I was taking minimum 20 to 30 leads that I would win a day. I was getting these calls and I would say this exact same thing. I edited it a little bit just because it used to say Monument there and now it's Colorado Legacy. Okay, much better name. Okay, but this is it. It's really simple. Okay, again, is this even a whole page? No, it's like maybe a paragraph, if that. Okay, at the end, it's the goal to set the appointment and meet them in person. Right, as soon as you can meet them in person and change that to have met face to face, that's gonna boost your score. Okay, so even if they're not interested in seeing a property, maybe they're just like, well, I was interested in this one, but I see that it's pending and it's sold. Okay, you still want to meet with them, want to set that appointment, whether that's in the office, Starbucks, at another property, want to meet them in person. I think we said 2 weeks. I wouldn't let more than 2 or 3 days go by. Okay. Next thing is these leads are a little different. Okay, they're not your sphere. Okay, they've never met you. They're probably using another agent. Maybe they don't have anything signed. They've probably seen a couple of other houses by themselves. They don't know you. They're already kind of skittish. Okay, we want to get in front of them as fast as possible. Okay, so really quickly, I just want to go over this quick conversation. Okay, it won't take more than 5 minutes. And I'm going to do a little practice round. Okay, so everybody stand up. Stand up. If you've been in group coaching or through Ignite, you guys have already gone through this before. You guys know the drill. This is what I want you to do. Okay, you're going to read this whole thing out loud. Okay, nice and loud. As many times as you can for 60 seconds, 1 minute. Okay, so as soon as you get to the bottom, boom, we're going to start at the top again. We're going to read through the whole thing. Okay, everything highlighted in yellow are responses that I would usually get. Okay, on the second page are just objection handlers. We'll get to those in a second. But I just want you to get really familiar and comfortable with this. Okay, make sense? 60 seconds. Ready, go. Nice and loud for Lucy, right? So Lucy can hear you.
I'm doing well, thank you so much for asking, so that you're interested in doing 123 East Street. Does that date still work, that's for you? If they say yes, great, I'll set up appointment set up for us. It's gonna be on the phone. Great.
Guys, a little bit louder, a little bit louder, come on, come on.
Process.
That's too quiet in here. Come on, 30 more seconds, 30 more seconds. Let's go. Nice and loud, nice and loud.
Quickly submit any offer and offer with finance attached. With that being said, there are a couple of great lenders. That's what I have. A couple of great lenders.
10 more seconds.
Great.
And relax. Good job. Have a seat. Okay, I like to do that with you guys. I don't even know if you guys got through the whole thing, okay? The more you read this, the more comfortable you will become, right? And you won't even have to look at it. Okay, the reason why we get so nervous, I think the biggest thing on this, obviously, especially the leads that come in, we get really nervous. We don't know what to say. We don't know how to set the appointment. We don't know what to say. If you read this verbatim, it'll work. Okay, most of these people want to go see the house. Okay, so we really gotta set the appointment. Okay, we're not getting too much criteria here. Okay, I'm not sitting with them for 30 minutes. Okay, what do you like? What do you don't like? I'm not getting their top. Hey, I see you are interested in 123 Easy Street tomorrow at 4. Do you want to see any other properties? Have you already talked to a lender? Okay, real quick, straight to it. Makes sense? Okay, so I want to practice one with you guys. Okay, I'll put you on the easy seat first. Okay, I'll be the agent. Okay, you guys be the Opcity lead. Okay, again, when you get this message, it's gonna have the client's name. Go to Natalie. Okay, it's gonna have the price point.
200 million.
Okay. It's gonna have the address. And I believe it will say if they're pre-approved or not. Okay, but I would take that with a grain of salt. Also, it'll have the time, so Tuesday, let's say at 4. Okay, so you're gonna get all this information as soon as you win the lead. Okay, so go over it, literally probably within 30 seconds to a minute, you're gonna get that call. So it'll be from Opcity, okay? Has anybody already received leads before? Do we know how that call kind of sounds? Okay, it's usually, hey, Natalie, this is Adam over at Opcity. I have a client on the line for you. They're interested in seeing 123 Easy Street tomorrow at 4. They are not pre-approved. Would you like to accept the lead? Yes. Okay, great. I'm gonna connect you. And they connect you like, hey, Natalie, I have Adam on the line. I'll let you take it from here. Okay, boom, go right into it. That makes sense? Okay. You wanna do one with me? Okay. You're the client, I'm the agent.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna just show you how I'm gonna set this appointment. Okay, this is my information. Okay, here we go. Thank you so much, Adam, for taking our call. I have Natalie on the line here for you. I'll let you take it from there. Hey, Natalie, this is Adam Macias over at Keller Williams Legacy. How you doing this morning?
Doing great, how are you?
It's going well. Thanks so much for asking. It's a little bit cooler outside, so I'm a little happier, right? Hey, I see you were interested in looking at 123 Easy Street tomorrow at 4 or Tuesday at 4. Does that day and time still work best for you?
It does.
Perfect. Were there any other properties that you were interested in seeing Tuesday at 4? And have you talked with the lender about getting pre-approved?
I have not talked to a lender yet, but there are a couple other properties I'm interested in.
Okay, gotcha. What other properties were you interested in seeing tomorrow?
I have another property in Dallas,
Okay.
on Preston Road.
You have that?
Crest,
Yeah. You have that full address for me?
123
Preston Road.
Preston Road.
Gotcha. Perfect. Is that the only one you wanted to see tomorrow at 4?
No, there's another one, 386 Aberdeen Avenue.
Gotcha. Avenue. Perfect. Now I have this first one set for you at 4. Okay, would you like to go right back to back on these other ones?
No, I'll probably need some time in between,
Okay, how much time are you looking for?
couple days.
Okay, gotcha. So let's say, let's do this. Let's set up this first one, 123 Easy Street, tomorrow at 4. Okay, as soon as we hop off the line, I'll go and look and make sure these two are still approved and still active on the market. And I'll get those set up for us for about a day after. Does that still work for you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Perfect. Have you talked with a lender already about getting pre-approved?
Not.
Okay, let me tell you why that's so important. I would hate to go show you 5 or 6 other houses, then we talk to a lender and we can't get you pre-approved, right? That would kind of suck, right?
That would suck.
Okay, good. So I tell you what, I have a couple of lenders that I've worked with, right? Let me have them reach out to you, just have a conversation with them. You don't have to go with them. That way you can see if anyone's a good fit for you. Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
Okay, perfect. So I tell you what, as soon as we hop off the line, I want to make sure and get this first one, 123 Easy Street, Tuesday at 4, set up for us. As soon as I get a confirmation, I'm gonna send you a text, let you know we're good to go. Sound good?
Awesome. Do I need to meet with this lender before, or you show me these?
No,
properties?
not at all. I'm just gonna have them give you a call, and that way you can have a conversation with them whenever you have some free time. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Perfect. I'll see you Tuesday at 4.
See you then.
Anybody timing? Was that 30 minutes? 5, right? She's like, hey, I need a couple of days in between these. Okay, that's fine, right? I'm gonna set this first one first, and I'm gonna get in front of you Tuesday at 4. Okay, now, I did say, hey, have you talked with a lender? It's important. Okay, if they haven't talked with the lender, it's okay. Okay, again, these are not our sphere leads. Yeah, I understand if they're your sphere. Hey, let's come into the office first, right? Let's do a buyer's consultation. Let's really sit down, go over your criteria. Maybe you have a lender in the room with you. No, first at the property. Okay, I know that goes against every natural instinct you have as a real estate agent. Okay, but again, these leads don't know you. They might be working with other agents. If you tell them, I can't get you pre-approved, or I can't go and show you before you even talk to a lender, they're gonna click on you and they're gonna go to somebody else. Is that simple? Does that make sense?
Show them.
So I would recommend, highly recommend, you meet with them, at least for this first property, before they're pre-approved. Okay, here's the thing, even if they tell you they're pre-approved, they're probably not. Okay, I'll be honest, Opcity is not the best at screening the calls. Okay, they say, hey, Jawada, I see you were interested in 123 Easy Street tomorrow. Are you pre-approved?
Yes.
Okay, great. That's it. Yeah, they don't ask for the lender name. That's all it is. Okay,
So if you, let's say you got their name and everything, and then you find out that they're a little bit more on the. You got a gut feeling this isn't good, even though you set the appointment, what do we do from there? Call you guys?
not good as in what?
Well, so we were talking about that app, let's
Yep.
say. The back, we run a little bit of minor background check and we're like, okay, I don't like what I'm seeing here. I don't feel good about this.
Yeah, so again, and I tell this to everybody, if you don't feel comfortable, it's not worth the commission. Okay, go with your gut, let Lucy know, let me know if you just look them up and they have 26 priors and you're just not comfortable. I'm sure maybe we can try and find someone that is maybe comfortable showing them, or if not, we will tell you might have to. Right, see, sometimes it really is that easy.
So you're gonna go there?
It is called Forewarn.
Yeah,
It's
background check.
It's $20 a month, and it's a great app. All you need is their first and last name. Forewarn. I'll put it up here at the end of class so you can download it. Okay, it's a good app. Okay, does this make sense though?
Yes.
Not having a 45-minute conversation with these guys. We're gonna meet them at the property, then we're gonna show them how great of an agent we are. Okay, now before we move on, you flip the page. There's a couple of objections you're probably gonna hear. I wouldn't even really call them objections. There's more like statements that they're gonna make. Okay. The first one is, we only want to speak with the listing agent. You're gonna hear that a lot. Or they think you are the listing agent. Okay. I don't know, yeah, it is what it is. They're like, hey, I thought you were the listing agent. I already have an agent, or we don't want to work with agents. We just want to speak to the seller. Okay, and this one I hear a lot. We only want to speak to the listing agent. We find that talking directly to the seller will get us a better deal. Is that true?
Not always.
No. Because why?
You're gonna go through the agent.
Well, if that property's on the MLS, most of the time, okay, I know FSBOs can get the properties on there, but most of the time they've hired a listing agent to negotiate on their behalf, to collect the offers. They want them to do that. Okay, if you're listing a property, do you want to just talk to a buyer or do you want to talk to an agent? Probably an agent. So what are you gonna do as a listing agent?
Here's another agent.
Give it to another agent. Okay, so the cycle will continue with them no matter what. So even in here, I'm like, look. You come to the right spot because I'm a listing agent, or I'm a licensed real estate agent on the buy side. I can help you. Okay, so. I want you to read this paragraph. Okay, I understand you'd like to speak directly to the seller. Although it looks like for this property, they have hired a listing agent to help them with negotiations. A good listing agent will only want to talk with a licensed buyer's agent when negotiating offers. So, as a licensed agent, it looks like you've come to the right place. And then I get right into it. I'd love to meet with you at the property so we can meet and I can show you how having an agent in your corner will make the process much smoother. Your mornings or afternoons were better for you. Right into the appointment. Now, hey, come to the office. No. You wanted to see 123 Easy Street? I'm going to show you 123 Easy Street. Okay. Now, once we're face to face, that's when it gets into a little bit more detail. Does that make sense? Okay, I really want to ingrain this in you guys because as you're taking these calls, 2 to 3 minutes max, you're on the phone. Okay, make sense? Good. All right, so we got a little bit of time. Got 15 minutes. Okay. I would love to do this conversation with somebody in here. I will be the Opcity lead. Who will be the agent? Who would like to offer themselves up first?
That's right.
Wanna go for it? All right, here we go. I'm gonna make it really easy for you. I'm not gonna throw any crazy stuff out there. Okay, I just want you guys to get used to this. Okay, ready? So we use the same criteria. Okay.
It's 4 to 500K, 1, 2, 3, the last not.
It's just the appointment's Tuesday at 4 and they're not pre-approved.
Okay.
So what's gonna happen? Again, I want you to get used to this. The Opcity lead is gonna come in, you're gonna say accept. Hey, congrats, you've won it. You're gonna get a call from Opcity. You're gonna say, hey, Tiffany, I got a lead for you. His name is Adam. He wants to see 123 Easy Street Tuesday at 4. Would you like to accept this lead, Tiffany?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna connect you. Give me 1 second. Hey, Tiffany, I got Adam on the line for you. He wants to see 123 Easy Street tomorrow at 4. I'll let you take it away.
Hey, Adam, how are you?
I'm doing good, Tiffany. How are you?
Good. Looks like you're interested in a property?
Yeah, I was interested in a couple properties.
Oh, a couple? Okay. I see it listed at 123 Easy Street. Is that the main property that you were interested in or?
Yep, that was the main one I wanted to see.
Oh, okay, perfect. And just to confirm here, it's showing me a price range of 4 to 500,000. Is that where you're at, with your property?
Yes, pause 1 second, okay? It's really important. We want to reiterate this address and the date and time. It'll show you that when you win the lead. Hey, I see you want to see 123 Easy Street Tuesday at 4. Is that correct? Okay, let's start from there. Yeah, I wanted to see a couple properties.
Okay, I'm seeing that you want to see 123 Easy Street on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Does that still work for you?
Yep, that sure does.
Okay, perfect. I'm just curious, are you pre-approved already or have you spoke to a lender?
I haven't spoken to a lender. We'll probably speak to one once we find the right property.
Okay,
But this is the only address I really want to see. This is the only one I found on Realtor that I really like.
okay, not a problem. Well, just to let you know, I have a handful of great lenders that you can speak to when you're ready. But yeah, I can get you definitely set for this appointment and we can get at the property and I can give you more details about that lender. When we meet.
Okay, great. Sounds good. I'll see you Tuesday at 4.
Yep, see you then.
Perfect. Okay, that was good. One minor thing. Okay. If you tell them about a lender and say, hey, I'm gonna give you their information, you give them a call. Are they gonna call that lender? Probably not. If they're good and they're really interested, yes. But it's just hard. They might have a lender they use or they just kind of like, yeah, sure, I'll give them a call. Okay, what I always do if you read this in here, I say, hey, I have a couple of lenders that I work with. If you don't mind, I'd love for them to reach out to you. Okay, if they say yes, I'm gonna put it on the lender. They're gonna do their job. Right? Makes sense? Have a little bit better of a ratio of people that are getting pre-approved if you do it that way. Right? If you leave it up to if you put it in the buyer's hands, good luck. Okay, good. Alright, anybody wanna do one more? Nobody? You guys gonna make me call on somebody? There you go.
Okay, a couple of questions
Okay, go
about
for it.
variance.
Yeah.
Cash fire,
Go for it.
somebody that's got an agent already or a
Yeah.
buddy.
Yep.
They wanna work with. And then, they've got 20 properties that they want to see.
Mhm.
Those are like 3 variances. I think.
Yeah, no, I would say the first one, if they have 20 properties that they wanna see, they most likely, when that lead comes through, it has the one. Focus on that one. Okay, let's go meet at this one tomorrow at 4. Give me the 20, text me the 20 that you wanna go see. And then let's meet in person, let's make sure that those match on our calendar. Okay, we're gonna meet them in person and then go set those 20 other ones. That's cool, right? Cash, just take out the pre-approved part. If they're cash, I would honestly still recommend, hey, you might wanna talk to the lender, right? They probably don't right now because rates are kind of high.
Yes, for proof of funds.
I would, yeah. So if they say,
During this conversation or subsequent?
I would say during this conversation. So they're like, hey, yeah, I'm paying cash. Okay, great. Let's go meet at this property tomorrow at 4. You don't mind, send me an email over of your proof of funds. That way you have it. Okay, now you know if they're kind of real.
And then already working with another agent or one agent.
Good question. My answer to this, not just on this, but in general, if anyone ever says, I'm already working with an agent. Okay, great.
Like in open houses, they all.
Yep. Yep, I'm already working with another agent. Hey, great. Have you signed an agreement with that agent? Right? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, I'll be honest with you, if they're calling through here. I don't have an agent. Okay, or they have an agent and they're not doing their job. Now, you're gonna get 1 or 2 responses. One is, well, his name, and then that's probably like, okay, you don't really have an agent. Or they're gonna tell you, like, yeah. His name is Adam, he's not very good, or whatever. I'm like, hey, yeah, his name's Adam. I have a signed agreement with him. Okay, great. Here's the thing, I'd love to work with you, right? That's kind of the vibe you're getting. I'd love to work with you. But here's the thing, you're gonna have to fire Adam before I can move forward with you. To be real upfront about that, because then they might just be like, oh, no, we love Adam. We wanna work with him. Okay, no problem. But now you haven't wasted anybody's time. Because the thing is, we kind of get scared, we don't wanna ask, and then we go show them 10 houses and then they have an agent. Does that make sense? Does that kind of answer?
It does.
Okay, good, right? Any other questions? Okay. Please don't just throw this in the trash. Don't just throw it in your binder and forget about it. Read it, okay? I promise you, you can literally go through this and just read it and you'll be good. This will narrow your calls 2 to 3 minutes max. Set in the appointment. We'll go meet them, take it from there. Make sense? Okay, I plan to have another Opcity class next month. And then we're gonna go from, okay, we've set the appointment, now what do we do? Okay, is anybody already in the program? In here? Okay, have you actually met with some people? No. Okay, so here's the thing. Go over it really quickly, so 10 minutes. Once you set the appointment and you're meeting these guys at the property. Okay, we are not the only brokerage that does Opcity. Okay, they still have their choice. People they can go to, okay? So we want to separate ourselves from the pack, okay? Biggest thing, don't just show up empty-handed. Okay, you need to come with a really good buyer's packet. It doesn't need to be crazy, but it needs to have a couple things in there. Okay. First, the MLS sheet printout of that property they wanted to see, 123 Easy Street. Okay, bring some information about that property. Okay, know it like the back of your hand. Okay. Even if you had that conversation with them on the call, and I said, no, this is the only property I want to see, 123 Easy Street. I'm bringing at least 2 to 3 other properties in that area that they might want to see. Okay, 90% of the time, the first house you show them, or the one that they clicked on that you got through Opcity, is not a property they're gonna put an offer on. Okay, set yourself up for success. If they walk in and like, oh, this is hot now. Hey, no worries, I got 3 others. Okay, let's lay them out. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, they might not want to see any 3 of those either. But now at least they're kind of like, oh, okay, this guy came ready and prepared. Okay, now you should have your MLS app on your phone or your KW app. So if they don't like those, you kind of go right there through your phone. Find some other ones. Do you have questions?
Did you already schedule beforehand? one more time to see those other three.
No, I used to do that and then I just hate canceling those appointments for the listing agent, especially if it's not vacant. So I would at least bring them if they want to go see one, right? Maybe you can't show them that same day. You could set something up for tomorrow. Makes sense? Okay, good. So let's print out 2 to 3 other properties in the area. Okay. Lastly, I'll bring them a buyer's rep agreement. Okay. Now, I know there, you don't have to have a buyer's rep agreement, but you know. Work with people. But if you have one signed, if someone said, hey, I'll sign it, or someone that says, hey, I won't sign it, who are you gonna feel a little bit more comfortable working with? Someone that signed it, right? You created a working relationship with them, right? If they don't, they can't go to another agent and there's nothing really you can do about it. Okay, so I'm putting this in there, right? This works great if you already have 2 or 3 that they want to see set up. At the third one, now I've showed you, hey, I came prepared. I showed you 3 houses off the bat, right? I've set you up with a couple of lenders, right? Hey, for us to move forward, I have all of my clients sign a buyer's rep agreement. What is that? Great question. Okay. That sets up a working relationship between us. I'm gonna work exclusively with you and you're gonna work exclusively with me. Okay. If you've done the work, they're much more obliged to say yes. Now, if you just came and was like, right on some lights for you, no, you're gonna call Opcity again and get another agent. Okay, the cycle repeats. So you want to separate yourself from the pack. This bare minimum stuff, I promise you, will get you just a little bit of an edge over a lot of the other agents.
So this is something you, sorry, I stepped up for a sec, but
That's
you
okay.
create for them.
Yep, as soon as I set the appointment, I get my little buyer's packet ready for them. Okay, it has your business card in there, your MLS printout of the property they want to see. 2 other properties that they might be interested in that area, they might be similar price points. Right, so that way when you go there and they're not interested in this one, like, hey, I have 2 or 3 others, right? Here's some options, right? And then at the end, my goal is to get them to sign this. Okay? If you do this right, I promise you, a lot of people will. They're like, yeah, no problem, let's do it. Okay, but if you just show up, don't say anything, don't give them anything. You're just a babysitter for about 30 minutes. That's it. That's all you work for them. Yes.
Do you always print it out? The
Always.
buyer's rep?
Always, yep. I do, even if they don't like necessarily sign it right there, right? What I usually do is I'll print it out and I'll have it already pre-filled with their name in there, right? We'll go over it, they can sign it and pen if they'd like, or I can just send it through DocuSign or forms, whatever you guys like.
And then you still make them sign it right there?
Do you think it's also good practice for those 2 to 3 other properties to kind of familiarize
Yes.
yourself with their
Yeah.
opening?
Oh, yeah. Make sure, remember, these 2 of the 3 properties you're not just picking, remember, we wanna know them in and out. As soon as you walk in, hey guys, 4 bed, 3 bath, 32,000 square feet. This is in whatever ISD. It's in an HOA, right? The HOA says you can't have higher than 12-foot fences. They have to be cedar wood, they can't be metal. If you have any other questions, I'll be right here, feel free to walk through the property. Okay. Make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, get there early too. Okay, don't get there 15-30 minutes early, have the lights on, meet them at the door with your buyer's packet ready to go. First thing you do is you hand it to them, hey, follow me, okay? Just giving them that little bit extra service. Okay, makes sense? Yeah, I'm telling you this because I promise you, a lot of agents do not do this. Yeah, when I was at Monument, we used to they would make us be fake buyers. We go to the Opcity program, allow them to just show up. Yeah, here you go. Take a look. Right. The agents that do this, easier for them to get them to the closing table. It's easier for them to get them signed a buyer's rep agreement. It's easier to get them pre-approved. Right? So we don't have so many dead ends. Makes sense? Just those small little verbal changes. So saying, hey, here's some lenders, reach out to them. Hey, here's some lenders, I'm gonna have them reach out to you. Okay. Makes sense. Feel a little bit more confident. Maybe just a touch. Okay, good. Any questions for me?
What
I'd
else?
also include the buyer's guide.
Yeah,
Yes, but the buyer's guide, I don't know if everybody's done it yet, the California concierge does it, what you're bringing them.
yes, yeah. Yeah, also, yeah, that's probably another really good one, your IBS form, have that in there as well.
I was about to ask, what else would you add to your
Yep.
packet?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you haven't sent them an email already with your IBS attached, good to have it in there.
Remember they call you, did they give you the email?
Yeah, so it should be, like, when it comes to your phone, it'll have all of their criteria, their phone number, email. Probably they were interested in, yeah. On the call, so if you want to make sure you got the right email, do that as well. Okay. Makes sense. Good, that's all I got for you guys today. Okay,
Thanks, Ed.
awesome. Good to go. Any other questions for Lucy while she's here? No?
You.
All right, thanks you guys, I appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you.
I will, I'll email all of you guys a copy of this, just in case you lose that one, if you want it, mark it up, make it your own. Okay, again, this is literally verbatim when I used to say to 20+ people a day, worked pretty well.
Do you have a good lender to you
Yeah, this guy right here, Benchmark.
besides them? Do you have another-
Benchmarks, they are good, I have 2 other lenders that are great, and then we also, I'll share their information, there's also a wall right behind this one. Of all of our vendors that we use.
Yeah, but I want one that's someone that.
Tried and
does it
true.
already. Yeah,
Yeah, good,
so
yeah.
I gave, you know how you do all this stuff, so I did all that part, but I gave somebody a lender